right? So I don't even want property anymore. I'm going full crazy Mr. Blockchain now because it's the only time I feel like I have control over things.
So Andrew Tate says he's going full crazy Mr. Blockchain now. And Andrew Tate recently did a podcast with Anthony Pompliano, or Pompolino, I hope I'm saying this right, where he talks about his bullishness for cryptocurrency regarding Bitcoin particularly. Guys, let's take a listen to this and I'll give my opinion, of course. Here I go.
You can actually control and own your money. You can actually have your money, right? How else are you going to have it in cash? And then you got to deal with the inflation. How difficult is it to move serious cash? I had to send, it's about 4 years ago, I sent $900,000 to Qatar for a completely legal reason.
Why?
I wanted to buy a property in Qatar.
So imagine this. Andrew Tate needed nearly $1 million, right? $900,000 to buy a house. If you've never gotten that type of money from a bank before, let's say you get $10,000 even, right, from your bank, the paperwork that you have to go through and the type of questioning will leave you offended because this is your money and they're going to ask you, what are you going to do with it, right? And here's the reality. $10,000 in 2023, because by the time most people will see this, it'll be 2023, will get you maybe a used car at best. You can maybe buy a trailer park or a shed somewhere, depending on where you live, at best, right? And the reality is that if you're trying to move your own money or utilize it, whose business is it? Why should the government, if you're not doing anything illegal, why should they care, right? Let's continue to listen to what Andrew's got to say.
So I was involved in the purchasing of a property in Qatar. The backflips, the paperwork, the legal nightmare, I swear to God I was put on a travel list because for about a year after that I was stopped at every airport. Just for a bank transfer, right? No problem with it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that is the issue when you're dealing with the current SWIFT system, aka the legacy system that we're dealing with, that just to get money to buy property, Andrew Tate has to do backflips, right? If you get 10 grand, heck, even if you get 3 grand, you're going to have to fill out a bunch of paperwork, right? And you're going to be questioned and asked what you're doing with that money. And with Bitcoin, or crypto, period, it solves that. You can move your crypto, your money, from here, from America to Qatar, literally within seconds. If you use XRP or XDC or XLM, literally within seconds. You can send $1 million of Shiba Inu from America to Qatar. That might take you 10, 15 minutes at most, right? But regardless, it's still a lot faster than what we're dealing with now, where you have to go in a bank, fill out a bunch of paperwork. Then if the paperwork gets declined for whatever reason, then they're going to question you, and then they can have you, then they don't even have to give you your money if the paperwork is wrong. They don't even have to do that. And it's your own money.
Bitcoin, no problem. So it fixes a whole bunch of problems, cryptocurrencies. It certainly does. I think a lot of people who are forward-thinking and believe the things I believe in, it's the only logical conclusion. What else are you going to trust a bank? Will you trust them?
In China, they're not trusting banks right now because they're having bank runs. So people are going into these banks in certain provinces of China trying to get their own money out, and the banks are saying, no, we're not giving it to you, or they're just not opening their doors. Now imagine you can't access the bank. And make no mistake, the way things are going with inflation, we're dealing with an energy crisis, food shortages, bottleneck supply chain issues. If there's a bank run in America, a lot of people are not prepared. A lot of people are not prepared, and they wouldn't. Not only are they not prepared because they don't have extra money or gold or silver stashed up, but they're not prepared because they don't even have a month's worth of food. Okay, guys, this is very important. Pay attention. Andrew Tate is dropping jewels. Let's go.
There's nothing else to do with it. I'm actually at the point where, although I do own quite a lot of property, I don't want any more. And I keep getting offered nice property deals, and Tristan's like, should we buy this? It's like, no, I don't even trust the Romanian government or the Russian government. I have property in Moscow. I don't even trust the government anymore. I don't even want...
You trusted the government? I never I never trusted the government, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You feel me? Let's continue.
Property, because if I piss the government off, they're just gonna take it. I don't own it. They say you own it until you annoy the government, then you don't own it.
Eminent domain. Google that, okay? So eminent domain is basically where you can own private property and the government can seize it for whatever reason and they don't even have to compensate you for it. Eminent domain, okay? This is, so when people talk about, oh, I'm a homeowner, I just paid my mortgage off, I'm an outright homeowner. No, you don't own the land, you don't own the house, because the government can come at any time and big boy you and say, hey, this is our land now, this is our house now, and that cereal is ours too in your cupboard. Facts, Google it.
Right, so I don't even want property anymore. I'm going full crazy Mr. Blockchain now. Because it's the only time I feel like I have control over things. And we're losing control at such a rapid rate. I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve. People saying, oh, I'll just buy a house and it's my little house. It's not your little house. You'll see how quickly they'll take.
Once again, eminent domain. Andrew Tate is right? And so we're all technically, even homeowners, we're all just, glorified renters. I mean, once again, the globalist agenda is what? You'll own nothing and be happy. And they've already been doing it for years. And people still don't realize it. You pay taxes on land that's supposedly yours. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Somebody can come through and tell you what to do with your trees. But I thought you owned that land. Well, that's for real.
People aren't logical. People have low IQs. They're slaves. And they're too busy, preoccupied with racism and all this other garbage to keep them split, so they can't all get together for 5 seconds and start thinking, wait, this is bullshit. You remember the big Bitcoin crash, $5,400 at the beginning of this Corona thing? When it really, really tanked.
Actually, Andrew, it went down to 3,908 if you caught it at the right exchange, right? Now, if you look at, certain websites, they're going to tell you that, oh, it's 6,000 or 5,000. But on certain exchanges, you could have caught it at 3,900 or 3,000. Yeah, 3,900. Ethereum on Coinbase was about 120 something. If you got those prices, man, you should be sitting good right now, right? Oh, Bitcoin will never go up. Guess what? They set that back in 2020 when it went that low. It's at 16,788 right now. Right now, there's somebody watching this saying Bitcoin will never go up. I wouldn't shock me within 3 years if we're looking at a 90K Bitcoin right there, right? And when that happens, when we hit a 90K Bitcoin, I will re-upload this video. Today is December 20th of 2022. Hold on, just so that people don't think I'm capping. What is today's date? You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, right there. You know what I'm saying? Right there. All right, let's continue.
Everyone say it's over, all this crap. I put a tweet up that I still retweet to this day saying, you're all pussies. Bitcoin's coming back. I think I said I'm buying $600,000 today, and we can talk when it's at 8,000. I think I said that. I'll turn $600,000 to like $12 million. Because I had cash in a bank, and when everything hit the fan, the first thing I thought was, I don't want cash. I want something else. Give me an asset. Okay, well, how can I get an asset that the government can't take? Bitcoin.
You know what, guys? This is Andrew Tate, and guys, I'm pleasantly surprised. Andrew Tate definitely knows about crypto, and I remember when I used to be part of the manosphere, and I would talk about the same stuff that Andrew was talking about, and nobody understood what the heck I was talking about, right? But if you're a content creator, and this is the way I was breaking it down, when you're on YouTube or TikTok, one of these platforms, number one, your money is based on, number one, how much they allow you to make, and number two, they can ban you or censor you whenever, right? This is what happened to me in 2019. I got shadow banned. My income dropped 90%, right? And so I had to figure out another way how to make money, right? And the reality is that if you're on a platform where they can shut you down at any time, number one, the content, you don't even own it, because in the terms of services, particularly in YouTube, they say that as soon as you upload, it's theirs. They own it, right? So the best thing to do in a type of Web3 world that we're moving in is to be the owner of your own content. Now, Andrew Tate, I think, has the right idea. When he decentralized his content, this is what helped him to accelerate as a content creator and become more popular and famous, because people were posting his clips and videos everywhere. Now, Andrew Tate saw the bigger picture and said, you know what? I'll lose the money in the front end, but I will make way more in the back end. And the back end is by people subscribing to him, by subscribing to what used to be known as Hustlers University. I don't know what it's known as now. And then, they becoming reoccurring paying members. So Andrew Tate understands already how Web3 works, because he's already showing you how to do it. And it wouldn't shock me in the future if you see content creators doing what Andrew Tate does, but there has to be some sort of a way, I think, that where you might see and it's not going to be YouTube, maybe a different platform, where if somebody reposts your clip, maybe that video will have a special content ID, some sort of a marker, and where you then can earn the royalties on it. Now, they have it in a way already with copyright, but I think that this will be a bit more sophisticated in the future, where the rightful owner of that content will then earn royalties on it, and it's going to make copyright and all of that a lot more clearer than it is now, right? And I think that a lot of content creators, if it's guaranteed that they earn royalties, kind of like NFTs, right, non-fungible tokens, then I think they would be on board with that, right? But right now, we live in an era now that on these platforms, these YouTubes and TikToks, you can't really say certain things that if it doesn't follow their agenda, then they deem you bannable, right? And people are tired of it. People are tired of all this stuff that's being pushed down their throat, of this agenda. People are tired of it. And this is one of the reasons why Andrew Tate has been able to rise, because Andrew Tate can take the hits when they come after him, because he's a self-made man. So his money is not going to, it'll be affected, but he's still going to be fine if they try to cut him off. Years ago, before Andrew Tate, there was another gentleman by the name of Rouge V. And when they cut him off, because he didn't have the resources, they basically were able to stifle him in that way, right? So I do think that this is the time now where men, particularly young men, need to focus on, investing in crypto, making sure that they understand where the blockchain is going in the future, cryptocurrency is going in the future. This is not the season to be worried about Choosy Susie or Big Booty Judy, why they're flaking on you, why they're not texting you back. This is the time for men now to focus on their sovereignty, to pay attention, because we're dealing with food supply shortages, chain supply issues, energy crisis, still a conflict or war in Ukraine, Russia. We're dealing with rising costs because of inflation and recession, okay? A looming recession or a possible recession. Plus, they're talking about layoffs and jobs and things like that, right? So it's very imperative for men to pay attention, particularly younger men, because this recession that we may see is going to make 2008 look like a walk in the park, okay? And for those of you who are old enough to remember 2008, you know that you weren't even getting a job at McDonald's if you had a master's degree. That's how bad it was, because the job market was so tough, where people that were way overqualified couldn't even get jobs at fast food places in certain areas, right? Anyway, guys, make sure to watch, tune in more. God bless you, your boy Jones, and I'm out. Peace.